You would find this video relevant if you find yourself being really hard on yourself sometime and you want to feel more fulfilled and happier with things that you do, but you keep feeling like you're wasting your time every single day. I have a 9-to-5 job, and every time I come back from work, I always feel like I'm too tired to do anything else, and then I would watch TV, scroll social media, chit-chat with my friends, and then rinse and repeat every single day. And by the end of the week or at the end of the month, I would start thinking about what I've done, and I just can't come up or remember what I've done during the week because it's all the same. It's all become a one big time waster. And I felt like it's time to change. And there's 6 things I want to share with you on how I've stopped wasting my evenings and start feeling a lot more fulfilled and happy with what I do. First, what helps me is actually answering a question: what wasting time means to me. And I realized that not all unproductive time counts as wasted time. Over time, I realized that I've been way too hard on myself. So how do I navigate those thoughts? How do I make sure that whatever I do, I feel good about it? And one thing really helped me is realizing where my values lie and what do I actually want in my evenings. Why do I want to do that? So what wasting time means to you. Does it mean if you're watching TV and scrolling social media, it's wasting time? Or whether it means you're working too hard and that's also wasting time. When I started working in my corporate job a few years ago, I kept working after 9 to 5. I would keep working once I come back home in the evening. I would stay in the office very late. Sometimes I literally would go back home at 10 p.m. at night, and that was so unhealthy. And so the question is, does that mean I'm wasting my time, or does it mean I was just working and I was being productive? And when I realized what I'm thriving for, what kind of feelings I thrive for, then I could say whether I wasted my time or not. At that time of my life, I was thriving to feel accomplished. I was thriving to feel seen, and that's what was boosting my energy, and that's what made me feel good. So for a period of time, working hard and working in the evenings wasn't wasting time for me. But then time goes by and I realized that working that much, I am not paying attention to anything else. I'm disregarding my friends, my family, and the connections that I have. And so it became wasting time over time. Yeah. So over time, I stopped trying to work that hard. But then I went into a different phase where I started scrolling and watching TV, everything that I've just mentioned. And that's where a different time waster come into place. And so back to understanding how I want to feel and what my values are really helped me to define what wasting time means and how to stop putting my energy and time towards things that don't align with my values. This is good. The second part is switching your mindset from I'm killing time to I'm living time. What this means is if you have a 9-to-5 job like I do, or if you have a job, any kind of job really, a lot of times, personally, I get really tired in the evening and I don't want to do anything else rather than just plop on the couch and enjoy a TV show. And I thought of it as I'm just killing my time so the morning comes and I can get back to work. What that does to me is every single day is the same, and I'm just trying to kill the time to get that motion going and just living through the week to get to the weekend. And that is how I feel like I was wasting my time. So I decided that if I keep killing my time, I will always waste my evenings. And how I decided I should shift my mindset into living that time more is I'm going to repeat myself, but truly what helps is thinking about how does it make you feel? I honestly really love watching TV shows. Sometimes it gets too much and I actually feel tired of it, But when I start, and if I do only watch an episode a day, most of the time actually now I watch TV shows that only have like one episode a week out. And that's what makes me feel so good. I tune in, I enjoy, and I truly am present at feeling within that hour how that TV show, the movie makes me feel. And that's where I'm living that time, I'm living that life, right? And it's just one example of living the time, and it could be so many more. If you plan your evening with your friends and family, if you plan your evening cooking something that you want to enjoy, that will help you living your time. And it's all about being more intentional. If you're intentional about how you want to spend your time and how you want to feel, you will choose the things that make you feel good and feel good long term. If you just keep going with the motion without intentionally thinking about why you're doing that, you will end up watching and binging the whole TV show like I always used to do, and then feel like you've wasted the whole evening on nothing. The next thing is letting go of perfection. It's actually kind of funny for me to talk about this because I don't believe in, or I don't understand, I would say, zodiac signs, but I'm a Virgo. And when I say that, people would be like, you are a perfectionist, I can see that. But I'm just saying that because it's just so aligning with, my sign and how people perceive the Virgo sign. But I do feel like a perfectionist live in a lot of us, and a lot of time we want to maximize our evenings, we want to spend it right, be productive, get things done, and we're so in our head about how we should do it, things we should do, and then if we don't do it right, we would beat ourselves up for not getting it done. So it's very important to actually letting go of that perfectionism, letting go and actually enjoy the things that you do. So one thing that really helped me is paying attention to my energy. Now, not every day can be productive, not every day you feel great, and sometimes you can't predict it. Sometimes you just wake up or reach to the evening and you realize that I have no energy whatsoever for whatever I plan to do. Sometimes, yes, you can push yourself to get to that workout, to go out and see some friends. Some days you truly just are so energy deprived that it's very important to have that time for yourself and re-energize as much as you can. And so having that understanding of yourself, being really mindful about your energy level, because it comes in waves. Some days you'll feel great, some days you won't. How are you feeling today? If you truly think and believe and feel that you don't have enough energy today to get that full leg workout day done, maybe you can do something lighter. So that's all about navigating your feelings and your thoughts. I'm not saying cancel on plans, don't do that workout, just like be lazy because you feel so, because that's counterproductive of what we're trying to do. But how things always work out for me and always helps is really listening to my body and myself and say, Mika, you are tired today. I come home from work and I'm sitting and I'm just like, man, I have that workout planned. It's in my calendar. I have to do it. I have no energy and I just feel upset at myself. And that is not a good way to approach it. Oh, my cat is scratching the door. So, hello. So sometimes it would just be counterproductive if we try to fight ourselves. And it's actually important to decide that I'm gonna do that small step today instead of doing the full thing. So instead of the full day workout, I tell myself I'm going to just drag myself to the gym and see what I can do. Most of the days I would actually end up doing it because I did that one first step towards the gym. Some days I am honestly tired, and I would just end up doing 2 sets instead of 3 sets of the workout, or even less, right? So it's really about listening to your body, listening to yourself, and decide what's that one step you can take to still make things happen. So I've been talking a little bit on the mind shifts and the 3-step and 3 things you can do to shift your mind into being more intentional. The next 3 things are the things I've tried to implement to actually build into my routine and help me navigate the low energy days much better. And the first thing is actually planning the evenings ahead. It sounds simple and also sounds a little bit opposite of what I've mentioned earlier, because yes, you cannot always do what you plan, but it's still important to plan and navigate around your plan rather than have no plans and then going to the evening and then decide, because at that time when you're really tired and you have no plans, it's gonna be very easy to just sit down on the couch and do nothing. But when you do have a plan, it will help you navigate around it and take that one small step towards things you actually want to achieve and do rather than nothing. What I like to do is actually planning a week ahead. So not just the night before or the morning of. It doesn't work like that personal for me, just because some days I would forget, some days I would not even think about it. Planning a week ahead helps because I do my plans at the end of the weeks anyways. So every single evening I would have something planned ahead, whether it's gym time, whether it's seeing my friends, whether it's making certain meals. I always make sure if I know in advance what I'm gonna do during the week, it would help me stick to that and actually try to do it as close as I can rather than not knowing what I'm gonna do during those evenings. Honestly, when I have a favorite TV show to watch, some days I would even plan, I'm gonna watch that one episode on that day. Might sound a little bit crazy, but if you do truly want to be intentional with your time and life, I think planning ahead is the most important step to do. The next thing is prioritizing rest. I feel like it's not being paid attention to enough. Especially when I was younger, I could not care enough about getting enough sleep, getting enough rest. I would just in this go mode. We can do everything. We can sleep 4 or 5 hours and still wake up and get things done, get to school, get to work. And yes, there are certain times and age where you're like having that kind of energy, and that's fine. But you realize, or I at least realized slowly and surely, that I cannot operate without having enough sleep and rest. In the past year, I have built into my schedule that I will have that one rest day a week at least. And it doesn't mean that I'm just resting and sleeping and doing nothing. It's more so protecting my energy. Maybe it's not seeing people and spending quality time with myself, doing things that I want. It could be different for you. It's just for me, it is important to spend that energy on like reading books and playing music, and even spending some time watching content and TV is important for me because that's how I also build upon my creativity and learning from others. I truly believe having that time for myself is important. And then most importantly, obviously, is getting enough sleep. I wouldn't lie saying that I get 8 hours of sleep every day, because sometimes it is sort of unrealistic, because some days you maybe just can't fall asleep in the right time and you still have to wake up to get to work. Some weeks I really feel sleep deprived, but that's where I learned that I cannot operate well when I'm sleepy and tired. I would just drag myself to work the next day and then doing minimum things, because my brain just thinks about the moment I get back and get to bed and sleep. So prioritizing rest is one of very important pillars and things I try to do now, whether it's trying to go to sleep much earlier and knowing that I'm going to have to wake up early the next day, or trying to not having an alarm clock during the weekend because I need to have that rest. And I will prioritize it because I know that with enough rest and sleep, I'll have a lot more energy to get things done the next day. Now, last but not least, it is reflecting on your week. I have a scheduled time in my calendar, whether it's on some weeks it's on Saturdays, some weeks it's on Sundays, to actually reflect on how I felt and what I've done in the week. I haven't really done it that long ago, but I have recently started, and I think it honestly changed the way I think and the way I feel drastically. It's really helpful because at the end of the week, I reflect on what I've accomplished and things that have been my distractions, whether it's actually watching too much TV because I did not listen to myself and I was just watching another episode and then another episode, and then it did not feel good at the end of the week. Or whether it is realizing that some conversations that I had during the week, whether it's with my friends and family, were actually my energy drainers. Now, sometimes it is important to spend your time with your family and share that time with them. It is important, but realizing and just understanding where your energy is draining, what your energy is draining from will really help you navigate the whole situation much better, because you need a balance. If you had an energy drainer from one thing, you will need something else to counterbalance it. For me, it's getting good food and just turn off and then not connecting with anybody else after, or actually getting sleep, as I've mentioned earlier. So a lot of different things we need to do to counterbalance the things that drain our energy but are still necessary to keep a connected life. And so when I do reflect at the end of the week on those little moments, it really helped me to look forward to the next week and see where I can improve, what I can do to have a better week. And I always say it these days, and it really helped me. How do I want to feel next week? Because if I want to feel energized, if I want to feel fulfilled and accomplished, I know exactly what not to do and what I should try to do during the week to feel more aligned the way I want to feel. And the reason I've been eating oranges while talking in this video is because I've been trying to eat more fruits, and I know that when I eat healthier, I feel better. So this is my way of balancing things out, because it feels good to do something with my hands while I'm talking, so I'm a little bit less nervous. And this is actually so delicious. Eat your oranges. There you are. The 6 things that I've tried to do during the past year, the past few months, the past few weeks that really helped me navigate my evenings and feel like I'm not wasting my time anymore. And I truly hope that it helps you and that you will share in the comments about what truly helped you re-energized and gain your evenings back. So start leaving, and I'll see you in the next video.